Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.
Welcome to Flip My Florida Yard. On today's episode, we're heading to Titusville. It's here we meet two teachers who want to do their part to protect the Indian River Lagoon that's just minutes from their home.
Our yard is kind of plain.
On this episode, we bring some shine to a dull front yard.
Well, we have about 250 plus plants going in the yard and over 35 species of plants.
We look at how our yard can affect local waterways.
In Brevard County, we have two watersheds, and both of them are impaired, so both of them are very important.
And we get tips on how to care for one of Florida's most iconic trees.
When it comes to trimming palms in Florida, any time is the right time.
Then it's Tree Planting 101. What are some of the mistakes you see people make? We show you creative ways to use rocks in the landscape. This rock is really going to serve two purposes here. We illustrate the power of right plant, right place. How fast will pollinators find this yard?
I wouldn't be surprised if some butterflies showed up here today.
And pet owners, you're going to want to hear this.
This can be very poisonous if the dogs were to eat them.
We'll give you some tips on repotting your own plants.
Repotting is simple, and it can be done at any time of the year.
And then, the shocking reveal. Remove your glasses. All this and more on Flip My Florida Yard. We're knocking on doors.
So excited.
And flipping yards into beautiful, Florida-friendly landscapes. And all in 8 hours.
Is this really happening? Who's ready? Organized chaos.
Experts show us how to use Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
Putting the right plant in the right place.
Water efficiently.
Very low maintenance.
Fertilize appropriately.
All leading up to a dramatic reveal.
The best surprise of our whole life.
We're here on Florida's beautiful Space Coast, and we're here to do one thing, flip a yard. You guys ready to flip a yard? Get our homeowner. Omar. Hey. Kelly, we're here.
Hi. We're so excited. Hi, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Omar.
And we are the Valle family. Our yard is kind of plain. We have a lot of sod that is just left over from previous tenants and everything that we'd like to make into a more water-friendly area. Since the lagoon is so close, one of the important things about living next to it is preventing runoff. So we want our yard to be not contributing to the things going into the lagoon that shouldn't be. Before we learned about Florida-friendly landscaping, there was always just an assumption that your yard would be lawn and ornamentals. So this kind of opened a whole new world of having your yard be part of the local ecosystem.
Absolutely. I would like people to look at our home and say, oh, wow, why doesn't my house look like that? What do they do different? I want them to come by and ask questions.
As a teacher, I'm definitely an active part of the community, and I don't want that to just end at work. I'd like to come home to a yard that is still kind of like an educational outreach. I can't believe you guys are going to do this in 8 hours.
Well, you know what? Let me check if we can. Skip, can we do this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What are you guys most excited about today?
I'm excited to see how everything's going to change.
There's going to be a lot of change. We're going to leave you guys with a beautiful Florida-friendly landscape. But to do that, we got to get you out of here. All right, you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, let's go. All right. You guys know where you're going, right?
Sebastian Inlet State Park.
All right, we're going to work while you're gone, okay? Bye-bye. Okay, Omar and Kelly just left. You know what that means? We have 8 hours to flip this Florida yard. You guys ready? Yeah! And go, 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 go. Okay, let's get some perspective on Omar and Kelly's yard here. As you can see, we have asphalt road that literally goes right up to their front yard. So no sidewalk, no stormwater system here. Right now, we're removing unhealthy grass. We came in here yesterday and used a sod cutter to cut this up. The goal right now is to get this removed, get it into wheelbarrows, and get it out of here as quick as possible.
Today, our flip designer is Skip Healy from Change of Greenery.
I have a passion for where I grew up in Brevard County. I want to see good things happen, and I want to see our waterways improve.
Skip brings his passion for Florida's environment into every landscape design.
You had a chance to meet with the homeowners, Skip. What are some of the things they wanted to see out of this design?
The Florida waterways are very important to them, so they wanted their landscape to reflect that.
Skip's design calls for a swale, which is a low area right where the yard meets the road.
So we're creating a little bit of a buffer using lime rock, and that buffer is going to capture any water that would flow off of this yard into the road and then into our waterways.
A series of pathways will wind through the front yard, offering access and creating some separation for the flower beds.
We love using pathways, so everything's aesthetically arranged, so it does feel like a nature trail.
As a central feature, Skip is creating a special area where Omar and Kelly can sit, relax, and enjoy being surrounded by their new Florida-friendly landscape.
We wanted this to be an inviting landscape, and we wanted to create kind of a tranquil area where they could sit down, chat, watch the butterflies, and listen to the birds.
Skip, what's going in the yard today?
Well, we have about 250 plus plants going in the yard and over 35 species of plants.
Here's the big question. It's 10:30. How you feeling?
Feel like we need to get to work. It's amazing to be able to provide a Florida-friendly landscape to Kelly and Omar. They're great people who are great advocates for Florida.
There we go, look at that. I knew if I looked pathetic, I would get some help. Woo! Well, you guys are digging a good hole there.
Yeah.
What's going in here, Nestor?
This Simpson stopper.
Simpson stopper.
Just like anything else, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And that goes for planting a tree as well.
So, Nestor, we have our hole, we have our tree out of our pot. What's next here?
We're gonna shave off the outer part of the root ball here.
Before placing it in the ground, it's important to prune the root ball with your hands or a knife. This will encourage root growth into the surrounding soil.
We need to make sure that when we set this in the hole, it sits slightly above, because if you sit it too low, it's gonna get root rot and it's not gonna allow it to grow very well.
Okay. So right now, what, we're about 2 inches above. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
All right. How's the face of the tree there look?
Looks pretty good. We're gonna build the moat around it.
We're gonna build the moat now? This is my favorite part. I'm kind of known for my moat.
I saw Chad working on the moat, which we also call a water ring, and it's really helpful when you plant a new plant. And it is important to put the water ring over the root ball itself so that the water soaks through the root ball instead of going into the sandy soil that surrounds it and misses the root ball.
Okay, so we have our moat done. Our moat is right up in the edge of the root ball here, so this water's gonna come off here. With what we did, we feel like we gave this tree its best shot at survival.
Yes, sir.
All right, now we just need to add some water, right?
That's it.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Florida is known for its beautiful swaying palm trees.
When people step off an airplane in Fort Lauderdale or Miami Airport, they're not saying, hey, I want to see the oak tree. What do they come here to see? Our palms.
Micah McMillan from the University of Florida gives us a few tips to keep our palm trees looking healthy.
When it comes to trimming palms in Florida, any time is the right time. If you're looking at a palm straight on and you see that big, beautiful crown, and then look at it from a 3 and 9 like you're looking at a clock, and anything below that you can take off or trim. So palms are very unique in that they have what we call a spear leaf, or the heart of the palm. And that is the center spear leaf at the very top of the palm. And if that spear is falling over or it comes out brown, then you know that there's something not right with the palm. Something's happened to it. When you see a palm frond and it's not green and beautiful like you want it to be, you should find out what are some of the deficiencies. Potassium deficiency, magnesium, manganese, and boron are our most common nutrient deficiencies on palms. So typically we see potassium deficiency on the oldest fronds or the lowest fronds on palms, because we see the leaf tips are necrotic, almost curling, the brown. And then with potassium deficiency, we always like to hold the leaflet up in the sun, and you can see the orange and yellow speckling on the frond. A homeowner should apply the 8-2-12-4 fertilizer, sometimes referred to as Palm Special in the box stores. What I find fascinating about palms is their response with fertilizer. If you can put out fertilizer on turf grass, you see that response within a week typically. With palms, it will take time. Although palms are closely associated with turf grasses, they are slow growers. We know people aren't necessarily patient, but you've got to be with palms. You patiently wait for them to express their thankfulness. Palms have a special place in the Florida landscape. We want homeowners to do what's right for Florida and what's right for the palm.
Okay, let's get back to our flip.
Sally,
How are you?
how you doing?
Good.
Brevard County Extension Agent Sally Scalera talks to me about some of the Florida-friendly landscaping principles we'll be highlighting today.
Are you excited?
I am very excited. It's another flip.
Tell me about Brevard County. What kind of county is this?
It's 73 miles long. We have the ocean, we have inland, so we have all sorts of climates and all sorts of plants we can grow, so it's great.
That's a great transition to some of the principles that we're going to feature here in this yard. Talk about some of those.
So there's 9 total principles of the Florida-friendly landscaping program, but the 3 that we're going to focus on are right plant, right place. So we're going to match the light conditions, soil conditions, things like that. We're also going to go ahead and attract wildlife. Attracting wildlife is wonderful, so birds, pollinators, and then we're also going to go ahead and reduce stormwater runoff, which is going to protect water quality. In Brevard County, we have 2 watersheds. We have the St. Johns River as well as the Indian River Lagoon, and both of them are impaired, so both of them are very important to protect.
Omar and Kelly requested a landscape that didn't require an irrigation system. So flip designer Skip Healy chose hardy, drought-tolerant plants suited for the area. Plants selected for a specific site will require minimal amounts of water, fertilizer, pesticides, and maintenance. This is known as right plant, right place, which is Florida-friendly landscaping principle number 1.
When we leave here today, Omar and Kelly are going to need to water by hand all of these plants for roughly about 2 weeks. We do recommend that hand watering directly to the root ball for each one of these plants. After that first 2 weeks, if a plant needs extra water, they'll be able to see that and apply it directly. Also, they'll be out here all the time checking in on their plants, and if anyone needs extra love, they can apply it.
How we doing, Philip?
Good, we're doing great.
Philip Hall from Change of Greenery showcases some of the plants going in Omar and Kelly's front yard.
What's it like working with Skip?
It's really great working with Skip. We get to bring the wonder of native Florida-friendly landscapes here.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's on a mission. The yard's looking good, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about some of these plants. Let's take this first one right here. What do we have here?
All right. This is a seaside goldenrod that we have. And this is a really great plant for insects, all sorts of pollinators. It really brings color that pops in a landscape.
Well, just a little bit of wind, it kind of moves back and forth and really it just gives off that really stark color.
There's not really much maintenance. It reseeds on its own, so it'll spread over time.
Okay.
These spent blooms, you'll want to chop off that big spike that's coming off the plant.
Okay.
That's going to help the plant just kind of focus its energy into its roots and into its leaves.
Just reach down and just kind of pinch off the dead stuff, right?
Yeah, and if it's too big, you can just snip it off.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Goldenrod, they're going to love that. And what do we have here?
This is a Stokes aster. It's a really great plant. The leaves, they grow really low to the ground, so it won't block any views. It also attracts a ton of bugs, just like this goldenrod will. So you'll have butterflies galore.
Is this a hardy plant?
It actually is a hardy plant. It does really well here, and it withstood the freezes that we just had.
So this would be good. It's not maybe a ground cover, but it's something low growing. Put some taller stuff behind it, right?
Yeah, and you get seasonal color with this plant.
And so our next plant is in the ground over here, right, Philip?
Yeah, this is a Jamaican caper. It's a really beautiful and unique plant because this is actually the northernmost part of its range. So you won't be seeing this plant naturally growing anywhere further north in Florida.
So when Skip talked about designing for this area, this is one of those plants.
It has beautiful flowers that attract a lot of insects. They also have a beautiful scent.
The new leaves are so green. It just has a really pretty color to it. And Philip, how fast will pollinators find this yard?
I wouldn't be surprised if some butterflies showed up here today.
Wow. It's amazing how quick these pollinators find what they're looking for.
Yeah, it is.
Good job, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Attracting wildlife can bring beauty and benefits to your home landscape. Here are a few tips for attracting birds, butterflies, and pollinators. Select plants that provide a food source. These include plants that produce seeds, fruit, foliage, flowers, or berries. Provide a source of water. This can include a rain garden or bird bath. Reduce insecticide use. This is helpful for the native animals, beneficial insects, and you.
Talk to me, baby. It's 12:30. How you feeling?
We still have a lot of dirt, a lot of material to move. Doing something like this in 8 hours is crazy. Quite the handful of work.
That's a giant pile of mulch over there.
Sure is.
Yeah, I don't want to freak you out here, but they're going to be here in about 3.5 hours, so we're going to make it?
We're going to make it. We got full tilt, all the crew that we can handle, so we're trying to get everything done that's in front of us.
Okay, I'll let you go back to your hole over here.
Thank you.
Hey, while we're working, let's check on Omar and Kelly at Sebastian Inlet State Park.
We're so happy to welcome the Valle family to our park. We're going to learn a little bit of where history and nature come together by exploring our McClarty Museum.
It was amazing. It was really cool to find out how the Treasure Coast actually started here.
We also went on a very nice beach walk, and we learned a lot about the different kinds of sea grapes.
A lot of times what you'll see is kind of this barrier of sea oats leading into sea grapes. That's what really kind of pulls our shoreline and holds it together.
It was nice to have a park ranger with us to educate us a little bit more in the park.
When you drive over the bridge and make the initial approach, you see the surf out there and the boats and the pier. It's just a gorgeous area. I know that what I do in my yard at home affects places like Sebastian Inlet State Park. I know that everything that we put into our soil is going to spread and make its way out to places like this.
We're running pretty clear on the incoming tides.
And look at that surf. Look when the waves crest, and you can see how clear and blue the water is.
I'm super excited for the reveal, but I'm also very nervous. We have no idea what we're going to walk into. I don't know how they're going to do it in 8 hours.
We have 2 rescue dogs. Their names are Kylo and Link. We want them to be able to run around and explore and play without us having to worry about what they might chew up.
Hey, Chad, come over here. I want to show you something.
All right. What do you got going on here, Sally?
Well, I discovered that this coontie has some seeds. This can be very poisonous if the dogs were to eat them, as is the whole plant.
So the whole plant is toxic.
Yes.
I never realized that. We use this plant so much in our flips. So if the dog were to come up and chew on this, that's bad.
Yes, that could be bad.
So this is a female. You don't think about that when it comes to plants.
Yeah. A lot of plants, you don't have to worry about that, but it's easy to go ahead and remove the seeds. All I have to do is just cut it right off.
Yep.
And then we can remove it from the landscape.
So you're going around to all of these coonties and just making sure that there's none of these exposed seeds. This is a part of having kind of that dog-friendly yard,
Yes,
right?
and it's easy to do.
I mean, this looks edible. It
Yep.
looks like something you could eat, but not good for you, right?
Right, and dogs would see it and come right over, possibly try to eat it.
The homeowner's gonna be able to see when these are growing, reach down and take them out.
Yes.
Now we know.
Now we do.
Okay.
Along with the seeds, it's important to know that the coontie plant's leaves are toxic if chewed on or consumed by your pet. For more information on creating a pet-safe yard, reach out to your local extension agent.
Let me show you a couple different ways that we're using rocks here in the landscape. First of all, you'll notice this strip of limestone rock that we have here. This rock is really going to serve 2 purposes here. It's going to help capture some of this stormwater runoff before it gets to the road. Also, it's going to be, you know, a nice spot where the homeowners can kind of pull up in here and park. Sometimes mulch is hard to keep in its place. It wants to get out onto the driveway or get into the paths. But this border that Skip has designed is really great. It really allows you to kind of build this nice border. It's going to kind of weave its way all throughout this front yard, really helping to identify these flower beds. And then with this path, this is all going to be crushed coquina. So this still will have that kind of coastal feel, really going to make these pathways pop.
Another way we're using rocks in the landscape is by installing crushed coquina in the pathways.
Oh, Skip, what do we have here?
So this is a local product that came right down the road. It's essentially this rock that's been crushed up.
We've worked with crushed shell. We've never worked with this crushed coquina, but man, that's gonna really add some pop for these pathways. You know, we're always looking for that great pathway material that you can walk on with your bare feet, and this is it, isn't it?
That's it.
Well, that's gonna feel good between the toes.
That's right.
While we wrap up the yard, here's a yard maintenance tip from Tom Whitman.
We all have that house plant or other containerized plant that might be struggling a little bit. Maybe it's too big for its current container, or maybe it's just been in that pot for a long time. Repotting is simple, and it can be done at any time of the year. We could have containers made of plastic, or it could be ceramic. They have that pop of color and can really be gorgeous, or it could even be made out of clay. Clay has the benefit it breathes, and so it will tend to dry out just a little bit quicker than some of the other products. Ideally, any of them should have drainage. If these pots don't have drainage, make sure you're putting some sort of graveling in the bottom of them to make sure that there's an area for water to gather. Now, for selecting your potting media, try and choose the best product that you can get. Usually you get what you pay for with potting media. Something nice, well-drained, and lightweight, you'll probably have the best success with. So once you have your media, you've got your pot, it's a good idea to go ahead and get started. Take your plant out of its current container, examine the roots, clean it up at that point in time, loosen the roots if needed, add soil to your container, add your plant, and fill around the outside. Once that's done, all you have to do is water the plant in well, and you'll water whenever it needs it. Replanting your container plants will reinvigorate them and give them a fresh look.
Okay, let's get back to our flip. With minutes to go, the flip team races to get the last few plants in the ground.
As soon as this mulch leaves, we are set to go.
We're using large tree stumps from a recent storm as seeding in the Zen garden. A tree stump makes a natural-looking seat and is a great way to utilize recycled materials in the landscape. While they're doing that, I put the finishing touches on our water feature.
I think we're all set to go. You fill this thing up with water, you hook up the pump, you hook up the light, and that's really it. It's very simple to install. So we've got that in there. We have it all plugged in. We've run power to this, and we plug it in, see what happens. Voila. The tranquil sound of moving water is now in their front yard. They're gonna be able to kind of hang out here. This is just gonna bring that extra zen there to their yard. It's gonna look really nice.
Okay, Skip and his team crushed today's flip. But I do have one last thing to ask.
What's going on with this hat, dude? Like, talk to me.
Oh, well, this is my resume. If you don't have a straw hat that doesn't have a fray in it, then you're not working hard, my friend.
This is beyond fray. I don't know. I tell you what, gather your people. I'm gonna go get the homeowners. I wanna bring them here, and we're gonna do this.
Love it.
This yard is officially flipped. How you guys doing?
Excited? Super excited.
Okay, look, all day we've been working in your yard, and I think you're gonna like what we did. All right, you ready to see it?
Oh, yeah. So ready.
Okay, glasses, here we go.
They work very well.
Okay, can you see anything?
I cannot.
You cannot. If you look down, you can see a little bit,
see
right?
The road, yeah.
Kind of see where you're going.
I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait to see what's around the corner.
Are you guys ready to see your yard?
Yes.
Yes. Are you ready for them to see the yard?
Yeah! Well, this isn't your typical yard, so I really hope after all this work that we put in that they enjoy it.
On the count of 3, remove your glasses. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Remove your glasses.
This is incredible. I literally cannot believe it.
Before, this yard was a blank slate filled with a mixture of unhealthy grass. 8 hours later, we transformed this yard into a beautiful Florida-friendly landscape filled with over 250 plants and trees, which in just a few days will begin attracting pollinators and wildlife. To conserve water, we place a 2-inch layer of pine bark mulch in the flower beds. The lime rock swale next to the road will help reduce stormwater runoff and offer extra parking. For the pathways, we use crushed coquina and use chunks of solid coquina as a border. Our Zen garden has 3 large tree stumps for seeding and a nearby water feature which delivers a soothing sound of moving water and will also provide a water source for birds. In the end, this yard will reduce the amount of harmful stormwater runoff, attract wildlife, and offer Omar and Kelly and their dogs a place of refuge.
When I took the glasses off and I saw this little seating area, I couldn't believe it. So creative. I'm so excited. I love it so much.
Let's give it up for this crew. Skip and his team, incredible volunteers. We're so thankful to give this yard to you. We know you're going to take care of it, right?
So much care of it, yes.
Yes.
My favorite thing is probably the paths. I feel like it's a little nature trails and just wander throughout the yard and check everything out up close. Coming home to this is going to be amazing. I cannot believe it.
I can't wait for my neighbors to come and by and hang out in my front yard. I cannot wait to show them a Florida-friendly landscape and educate people on the plants that we have.
Your yard has qualified for a gold level Florida-friendly landscaping. So you have over 250 plants.
Wow.
So you get to start learning about them tonight.
I'm very excited to do that. That is a lot of plants. I think that's amazing. Before the flip, the yard was just a hodgepodge of like messy grass and weeds. Now it's a nature trail in my front yard, and I can just wander through native and Florida-friendly plants every time I come home.
Thank you for flipping our Florida yard. So great to see how Kelly and Omar are committed to protecting the Indian River Lagoon and to teaching others how a yard can help the Florida we all love. Well, that's our show. We hope you're inspired to help Florida's environment by starting in your own yard. And remember, everybody doing a little, well, that's a whole lot.
We just want to give you guys a little update on our yard about 4 months in.
These dune sunflowers are our favorite plant.
We also love the pop-up colors that we get in the yard with plants like these. We also love all the pollinators that have been coming around lately. Our dogs just enjoy being out there all the time.
Thank you again for giving us such a beautiful Florida-friendly landscape.
Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.